Hello, and welcome to another edition of the School Safety Free Period. I'm Amanda Klinger.
And I'm Dr. Amy Klinger.
And we're with the Educators School Safety Network. We're a national nonprofit organization, and we provide school safety training and resources and technical assistance to schools throughout the United States and Canada. And we are typically very professional and very education-focused and research-based. But during our School Safety Free Period, we let our hair...
We still are.
We still are, but we let our hair down a little bit. We have a few laughs, but then we do get back to some important takeaways and things that you need to know as an educator or an administrator or parent or community member or however you are involved in the work of school safety. So how this typically works is that one of us, usually
me,
Dr. Klinger, has a story that is ripped from the headlines. It is 100% true, even if it seems too absurd to be true. And then I usually am sort of aghast. And then we sort of talk about the takeaways and what are the lessons that we can learn from this event. So,
yeah, but that's not what we're doing today.
Oh, so
today
it's not that.
We're going
Okay.
to. I think the informal theme of today's podcast is the things we say. Shaking my head. So we'll do shaking my head. All right.
You want to name this?
I'm gonna give
shaking my head? Okay.
I'm gonna give you the things we say, and then you can either shake your head or comment on them.
Things we, like the royal we?
Yeah. Like
okay.
humanity.
The things people have said. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So we're just gonna go through these real quick because there's just a bunch of different ones.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with the Tennessee Gubernatorial Forum on Education. So we have our candidates for Tennessee governor who are asked a question about school safety.
And let me guess, they had like super nuanced, well-informed answers. They're really
I don't know.
on it.
I wasn't there, so maybe the media has distorted this by the way they're reporting it. But so we have candidate number one, and I'm going to be bipartisan, and I'm not going to say who they are or what their political affiliation is.
Because they're all awful.
Well, they're not awful, but so the first candidate says that the effort for school safety must reach beyond school systems to include other public safety agencies. We need to bring, this is the quote, we need to bring all the state's resources to bear. Okay, great. So that's sort of innocuous, but
vague.
Then,
Real vague. Okay.
So then we next candidate up says that when he was mayor of a big city in Tennessee, he added school funds to help keep shooters out of school buildings. But then acknowledged...
But by what? Asking, hey, you a shooter? Can't go in.
Don't know. Yeah.
What's
but
the
then
plan?
acknowledged that the most recent shootings are different because the suspect was a student. But, and of course, apparently doesn't realize that in 80% of the cases, that is the case.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just found it interesting that, I'm going to throw enough money at this that we are going to keep shooters out of schools.
I'm going to stop
when
Christmas
they are
from coming.
mostly the students in the schools. So apparently he's emptying the buildings. No kids are being educated, I guess.
Or you ask, do you have your homework for third period? Are you an active shooter? Okay.
Okay, so we don't have a terribly nuanced discussion about school safety.
Okay,
so
that's not surprising, but okay.
Yeah, so let's move on. So let's see instead.
Wait, and what am I supposed to do? So the things people say, I'm just supposed to.
Were you shaking your head at that one?
I was shaking my head. Okay.
Okay. Well, now we have a bus driver in Merrill, Wisconsin, who I'm sure driving a bus is not fun. I've never driven a bus. I have no desire to. I'm sure it's awful. So kudos to all of our bus drivers out there that I'm sure put up with a lot of nonsense. Mm-hmm. This bus driver apparently had enough because he told the students he was going to blow up the bus.
Is that part of
they were actually elementary students, I believe. Yeah.
Is that like the next after I'm going to turn this bus around? If that doesn't work, then you just threaten to blow it up.
Well, and so, let's see if you feel this explanation is satisfactory. The bus driver indicates that the students were talking about video games that had shootings and bombs, and he was just trying to relate to the kids.
Oh, okay. So if the kids were in the back roughhousing, he should just go back and just
there and
kick the crap out of them. I'm just trying to relate to the kids.
Trying to relate to the kids by talking about death and destruction.
Okay, shaking my head.
So,
I am shaking my head.
That one? Did that one didn't work for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have another person, a professional in our schools. And this one I just
Should we have any takeaways yet? Or the takeaways are no, don't?
well,
Is
so
that the
far,
only takeaways
do
we
not
have so far?
threaten- Do not threaten to blow up the bus.
Okay.
We have a school district in the South who I just found it very interesting that he was talking about surveillance and security being the way to protect students in schools.
Surveillance state. Yep.
He said more and more surveillance cameras are being installed in the school. It's been a tremendous help keeping students safe. And he says students today are being brave. They're heroes, but they care about themselves. Okay, that's all great. They have 1,000 surveillance cameras in this district. Now, I have no idea. Maybe the school district has 1,000 schools for all I know, but I don't think so because it is not a major metropolitan district in the South. It is not.
Maybe the school district is taking place in George Orwell's 1984.
Well, they have 1,000 surveillance cameras around the district, including in the school buses. They are
in case the bus operators blow up the buses, they want to have video footage of it. Okay.
The operations center serves as a model for other districts, including a company from Japan who I assume makes surveillance cameras that is coming to go, thank you so much. We're making so much money because of you. And so he expects that they are going to install another 50 cameras in the district by
If you got
July.
1,000, what's 50 more? Now, I think maybe it's important for us to say that we're not just making fun of these people for having 1,000 security cameras. Security cameras serve a function, right? After something happens.
They're not free, though. Let's keep that in mind.
That's true.
They did not get them with, like, Campbell soup labels. I mean, they purchased them with, like, real money.
I think it's important to note the purpose of surveillance cameras, right? So after something happens, we can use the surveillance cameras, but surveillance cameras are not prevention. And we have to make sure that, like any other school safety tool, what are we trying to accomplish with it? Are our people empowered and trained to be able to do the thing that we want them to accomplish with this tool? And does this tool accomplish the thing that we're setting out to accomplish? And I think that they're maybe overselling the value of their 1,000 security cameras.
Well, this individual, and I'm quoting...
It's like in that Batman movie where Batman uses everybody's cameras on their cell phones to like track down the bad guy by aggregating all the data. It's the same thing.
I haven't seen that.
Yes, you
have.
But
I'm sure it's fascinating.
I'm sure you've seen that movie.
Let me quote with what he says. He wants students to know they have eyes on them in the halls and even on their way to and from school.
Oh, is that like a vindictive way or like a
I guess
protecting
we're protecting you by watching you closely all the time?
So we can watch if someone beats the crap out of you on your way to school. We can watch it on the cameras. We don't have supervision.
And you don't know what to do about it because we've never trained you or given you any idea of what to do when you encounter these things. But we will watch it happen to you and go, that's got to hurt. Okay, that was awful. I'm sorry. There is a function for security cameras.
Right, but prevention isn't it.
It would be nice if we could. Now, maybe they do a tremendous amount of training, but I didn't see it if they did.
Huh.
So there we are. So
I am
shaking
shaking my head. All right.
And then let's move to
I think it's maybe important for our listeners to know that the reason that you like to say shaking my head is because...
What?
You learned the texting acronym, SMH... Yeah. And so you like to say, shaking my head.
I never texted that, though. Never once.
I know, but you...
I might now.
You find delight in knowing that's what the acronym is.
I am shaking my head.
Okay.
Okay, and so then we have our little situation here. Now, this one is not so much what we said.
This is a new one?
This one are two young gentlemen in the state of Washington, 18 and 19, who apparently, for New Year's Eve... because I don't know what else you would do, get liquored up and shot 60 bullets into the neighborhood elementary school. Shot up the elementary school. They were apprehended because then they went back to the bar and told everyone what they had done. So if you do the things we say, if that's our theme, yeah.
And Marysville High School, Marysville, Washington, is familiar to us from the shooting at Marysville Pilchuck High School, where there were a number of fatalities a couple of years ago. So, in addition to being immensely stupid that we're going to get drunk and just shoot 60 rounds into any building, you have the added insult to injury there. Okay.
And they did indicate they were intoxicated. In case you were unsure of whether there might have been
Is the drinking
just
age
stupidity
is the drinking age
involved,
different in
or-
Washington State, and I'm unaware of it? Or
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, they came back to the party shortly after midnight, bragging they had shot up the elementary school. So there you go.
Okay.
It's good. Do the stupid thing. Immediately get yourself incriminated and arrested for it. Happy New Year.
Did they post it on
Happy New Year.
Did they post it on Facebook? I mean, that would be.
I don't know.
I mean, probably. Okay.
You probably didn't get a chance.
Yeah.
So that's our last one, but I want to give you a +1, just as a little extra added bonus, because this just happened. In case you were curious, an elementary school in Pennsylvania, had a student today bring a hand grenade to school.
Like a literal.
It was an elementary school. It was a hand grenade. It was not live, but it was indeed a hand grenade.
What do you mean it wasn't live?
It just said that it wasn't a live hand grenade, so I don't know if maybe the pin had been pulled in it or something like that.
I don't know a ton about hand grenades, but
don't
my
either.
understanding is that.
I know I've never brought one to school.
Well, I know I've never brought one
sure.
to school, but my understanding is that the only difference between a live hand grenade and a non-live is whether I've pulled the pin or not.
Well, they sheltered
Was
in
it a
place.
prop?
They locked down, sheltered in place until the bomb squad could come and take the hand grenade
Stay
away.
next to it. There's a hand
Well, I
grenade.
don't think
Let's
they
stay
were
by
right
it.
next to it, but so
Yikes.
folks out there, you think you had a bad day today? Did a kid bring a hand
How
grenade
old
into
the
your
kid?
classroom? No? Then you had a better day.
They may have brought a hand grenade of emotions or a hand grenade of poor behavior, but a literal hand grenade, not so much. How old was this kid?
I don't know, it was an elementary school, they didn't say.
Yikes.
And while I don't have a quote from what they said,
Yikes.
so it doesn't
They
really,
probably said,
it
yikes.
doesn't really fit with the theme. I bet you can imagine what was said when you can only imagine teacher, so what do you have, Bobby? Well, I have this hand grenade for show and tell today. I'm assuming it had something to do with show and tell. I don't know.
Yeah. That's a... That's
Mm-hmm.
a new one. But it didn't go, and there were no injuries or fatalities. So we can laugh in good conscience, because you don't have any injuries in any of these things.
We can laugh,
holy
but
cow,
in reality, I was going to say,
man.
think about that when you're not trying to be a smart aleck. Think about how, number one, think about the what's the word I want? The denial response of going, oh, that can't. Surely that's not a hand grenade. Oh, that is indeed a hand grenade. And then the larger issue of, when you're an elementary student, where do you get a hand grenade exactly?
Well, and how do you carefully? It's not like you carefully carried it to school in a wooden box.
Maybe wrapped in a towel. Who knows?
I was gonna say, chucked it in the backpack.
I don't know.
Hand grenade. Holy cow! All right.
Can't you see the checklist in the morning when mom goes, do you have your homework? Do you have your lunch? Got your hand grenade? Okay, off to school. He probably rode the bus to school of the driver that said he was going to blow it up.
with the hand grenade. Well, I mean, I know me personally, if I ever forgot something like my lunch or an important paper or whatever, some people have parents that would then bring it to school for them.
You did
that
not.
I did not. But
And I wouldn't have brought your hand
But
grenade.
that's my question. If I had forgotten my hand grenade, would you
Nope.
make an exception? No.
Nope.
You
I
gotta
would
learn
be
that
like,
lesson.
Hey, you need to bring a hand grenade to school. You got to remember to
You
do
gotta remember
it
it
yourself.
yourself. Pack your own hand grenade. I'm not bringing it for
Okay,
you.
now, since we're done, I feel like it's important for us to maybe do a little disclaimer, because we sound awful, that we are in no way minimizing the inconvenience, trauma, destruction, potential problems that all of these things that I just made fun of. We are not in any way minimizing those. Rather, we hope that by being kind of jerks and laughing about it, we have also given you a little bit of food for thought about, number one, there is nothing too ridiculous that to assume it will never happen, because it does. But also, number two, of how even these ridiculous sort of events, there's a cost. I mean, there's a ripple effect here. There were a lot of people impacted by the stupid things that people said and did, both safety and emotionally, and a lot of other ways. Yeah. So while we come across as a little bit of jerks here, it's the black humor of wow.
Yeah, and if this is your first foray into our podcast, please understand that we do take this stuff seriously. We are joking around and making light of some of it now, but we take this work very seriously. So there you have it. That was a pretty good, interesting episode of the School Safety Free Period. You can like and rate and review podcasts. That's super helpful for us to get in front of like-minded folks who might want to see a little bit of the lighter side of this, but still have some takeaways. And if you have any stories that are too absurd to be true, but they are true, you can always send them to us at info@eschoolsafety.org. You can find this podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. In addition, if you don't want to hear us cracking jokes and you just want just the facts, you can check out our podcast, School Safety News, where we talk about what's new in school safety and takeaways and what we can do to increase safety in our schools. And you can always check out our website for free resources or more information about the work that we do and any way that we can help. And the website is www.eschoolsafety.org.
And if you were offended by what we said, we'd love to hear from you. If you thought it was funny, we'd love to hear from you more. But we would like, your feedback of how is this helpful for you? What would you like to see? And
like to hear more
what are
of.
some ways that we can help you with your work?
All right, great. Okay. When you're ready. Do you want me to do the intro or do you want to do the intro?
Yes, please, because I'll be doing all the talking otherwise.
Okay. All right. Hello and welcome to another exciting... Getting all your creaks out. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the School Safety Free Period. I'm Amanda Klinger.
There you go with the exciting again.
Well, they
I
are
thought
exciting.
in 2018 we were going to have an exciting free, or we were going to...
Non-exciting.
I should have
Boring.
bought you a thesaurus for your Christmas.
What do you want me to say? This is like...
And
it's
I
like
am
this-
Dr. Amy Klinger.
Okay, well, I gotta start
Critical
over.
mom.
I have to start
Just go
over.
ahead.
I can't edit all this out. It'll take me forever.
Keep it in. Let people see what I'm really up against.
People will know that we recorded this at midnight.
Okay.
Okay. So just another edition.
Yeah.
Okay.